We're going to be talking about multiplying decimals in this tutorial. So our first example is 16.2 times 85 and 4/10. Everyone's initial reaction is going to be to go ahead and line up the decimal. Now in this case, because there are the same amount of digits, the decimals will be lined up. But the thing about multiplying decimals is that you actually don't need to line up the decimal place. So here we have 16 and 2/10 and 84 and 4/10. We're going to go ahead and multiply like normal. So 2 times 4 is 8. 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 1 is 4, and we're going to add the 2, so that's 648. Now we've got another line here, and we're going to work through our 5. So 5 times 2 is 10. This goes away. 6 times 5 is 30 plus our 1, and we're going to have to carry the 3. So 5 times 1 is 5 plus the 3 is 8. And so we're done with that 3 now. And we're also done with the 1. So now, on the last one, we added a 0 here, and that's because it's the first line after it's the second line after this line right here that I'm pointing to. And so now that we're moving on to a third line, we're going to actually add 2 zeros here. And so if you were to add another line, it would be 3 zeros and 4 zeros and so forth. So 2 zeros. 5 times 2 is, we're on 8 times 2 is 16. Carry that 1. 8 times 6 is 48 plus the 1 is 9, 49. And 8 plus 4 is 12. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 4 is 12. So we're going to go ahead and add that straight down. So 8 plus 0 is 8. 4 plus 0 plus 0 is 4. 6 plus 1 is 7. 8 plus 9 is 17. 1 plus 2 is 3, and then 1. Now, the trick with the decimal here is we're going to look at each number. We can see that there's only one digit behind the decimal place on the first number and one digit behind the decimal place in the second number. So 1 and 1 together is 2. So that means from the back number, this 8, we're going to count forward 2 decimal places. So 1, 2. So that means our decimal place needs to go right here between the 7 and the 4. So 2 decimal places. So your final answer for this one would be 1,377 and 48/100ths. All right, we're going to try another problem. This one's not going to have a decimal place in 340. I mean, it's technically afterward, you could say. So we're going to go in and say 340 and 76.5. And like I said, someone's initial reaction is going to be to want to line up the decimal place, and it doesn't matter in multiplication. So we're going to go ahead and just multiply like normal. Our last 2 numbers need to be with one another, so that's the only thing. So we're going to go ahead and multiply like normal. So 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 4 is 20. Carry the 2. And 5 times 3 is 15, plus the 2 is 17. We've come into a new line, so that means we need to go ahead and add 1 0, and we're going to work our way through with the 6. So 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 4 is 24. Carry that 2. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 2 is 20. Okay? And now we're working our way with the 7. So since we're going to a third line, that means we need to add 2 zeros. We added 1 from the one above. And 7 times 0 is 0. 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 3 is 21, plus the 2 is 23. And we're going to go ahead and add that up. So all zeros, all zeros. 7 plus 4 is 11. 8 plus 1 plus 1 is 10. 3 plus 2 plus 1 is 6. Pull the 2 down. And again, we need to count. There are no decimal places here, and there is 1 decimal place here. So that means from the back, we're going to count forward 1 decimal place. So our decimal needs to go here between the 2 zeros, and your answer would be 26,010. All right, go ahead and pause if you'd like to go ahead and solve this problem on your own, and then you can come back to us once you've figured out the answer. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and solve this. Again, you do not have to line up the decimal when you are multiplying decimals. So we've got 349 and 23 hundredths, and we've got 87 and 3 tenths. Just a reminder, decimal does not need to be lined up, but you want to line up the last digit of the top number with the last digit of the bottom number. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and multiply like normal. So 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 9 is 27. Carry that 2. 3 times 4 is 12. Plus 2 is 14. Carry the 1. And 3 times 3 is 9. Plus 1 is 10. Okay? Next, we're going to walk through with the 7. So add that 0. 7 times 3 is 21. Carry the 2. 7 times 2 is 14. Plus 2 is 16. 9 times 7 is 63. Plus the 1 is 64. 7 times 4 is 28. Plus 6 is 34. And then 7 times 3 is 21. Plus 4 is 24. All right. Next, we're going to walk through with 8. So first we need to add the 2 zeros. 8 times 3 is 24. Carry the 2. 8 times 2 is 16. Plus 2 is 18. 9 times 8 is 72. Plus 1 is 73. 4 times 8 is 32. Plus the 7 is 39. And then 8 times 3 is 24. Plus the 3 is 27. Okay, we're going to go ahead and add straight down. 9. 6 plus 1 is 7. 7 plus 6 is 13. Plus 4 is 17. 8 plus 4 is 12. Plus 4 is 16. Plus 1 is 17. 3 plus 4 is 7. Plus 1 is 8. 9 plus 1 plus 4 is 14. 7 plus 2 plus 1 is 10. And 1 plus 2 is 3. So we've got 2 decimal places here. 1 decimal place here, so that's a total of 3 decimal places. So from the back, we count 1, 2, 3, and our decimal place needs to go in between these 2 sevens. So our total is 30,487, 779 thousandths. All right, so finally our reminders are that you do not need to line up the decimal when multiplying decimals. Next is that you just line up the place value of each number, the last place value. So if you have 6.2 times 7, just the last place value of each number needs to be lined up. So the 2 and the 7. You're going to multiply like normal. And then you count the number of decimal places in each number. And whatever the total is, that's where the decimal needs to go. So in this case, it would be after the 4, or I'm sorry, after the 3, but before the 4. So 43 and 4 tenths. If you have any questions, you can ask me in class tomorrow.